Einstein, who was one of the smartest humans ever, he proved that the universe cannot create itself out of nothingness. So my $1,000,000 question.
Why would you say that?
I'm not finished.
Why would you say something
that it
like
cannot
that?
create itself
He
out of
has
nothing.
never said that.
Science says
nor is that nor is the idea of that in contention with the Big Bang. Why would you say that?
Because the
promise
universe needs
that
a cause.
You cannot name three
Why
physicists.
Why are you triggered for, bro? Why are you emotional?
Because when people say stupid shit like that, it really
How's it
irritates
stupid?
me.
I'm talking
because
science.
you think that you have figured this out.
No,
and you
I'm just
know
using
nothing.
science against you.
Only a complete ignoramus would say something like that.
I can use science against you, my brother.
Name 3 physicists.
I don't need to use. I'm talking about how the universe came to be.
So, Albert Einstein
the people in the
never said
comments
what
saying
you
you're a
said.
waste of time.
None of his work is even modeled to do that. And the Big Bang also does not say that nothing came, or that everything came from nothing. There's not a single thing you said that's relevant or part of the argument or anything.
So the universe, the Big Bang says that 2 atoms collided at supersonic speeds.
Why would you say something like that? Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now? 2 atoms collided at supersonic speeds.
No, because you're very close-minded. Yes, that's what the Big Bang is.
Josh, you fucking idiot. That's not the Big Bang.
Well,
that's never been the Big Bang. Nobody has ever said that except people like you. People who don't know anything. Never been the Big Bang. You know less than zero. Because the things you're pretty sure you know aren't true. You know negative things about the Big Bang. You have negative knowledge. Why are you cursing?
It says a lot about you.
No, Josh, you came up here and started bloviating about a bunch of nonsense. You started with a non sequitur. Then you said 3 things that aren't true. Then you said another thing that isn't true.
The universe created itself out of nothingness? Make me eat my words.
Pardon me, I did not hear what you said.
Prove to me it created itself out of nothingness. Give me scientific evidence.
Josh, again,
you don't have any evidence. That's the issue.
This is now the 5th stupid false thing you've said.
Salvation, brother.
Nobody.
That's what you're doing.
Josh.
Nobody has salvation.
Okay, the only people in the universe who have ever said that the universe was created out of nothing are people named Josh. People like you. No scientist has ever said that the universe was created from nothing.
You tell me how this all came to be.
Nobody has any idea.
Okay, well, there you go. So you can hear the difference.
There who goes. This has nothing to do with anything you've said.
We do. We have Genesis 1:1. We have it. We have the answer. This is the difference between the disbelievers and the believers, is you don't know. You are playing...
Josh.
You were playing Russian roulette with your salvation, brother. That's what exactly you're doing.
So are you. You have no clue if what you believe in is true.
I do have a clue. I have a clue that is cemented.
You have faith.
It's not even a clue. We have facts. Okay, my brother?
No, you have less than a clue. I would agree.
We have facts that Christ died on that cross.
Name one.
Scientifically proven, Jesus Christ of Nazareth died on that cross. Now, you are putting all your faith in science
to back that up.
Yes, there is. There's a letter that was verified by Pontius Pilate in the 1930s that is accurate.
Wasn't.
Yes, there was.
No, there wasn't.
Right, don't even go there because you're going to get buried, yeah? Now, you've decided...
Don't even go there.
All your faith... Listen, you've decided to put all your faith in something that gives you no reassurance. Science doesn't know how this came to be. Yet you are saying that
it makes Josh's pretty little feelings keep from getting hurt. That's why Josh says all the stupid things that he says, because it keeps his pretty little feelings.
So, according to Einstein, his teachings were on the law of causality. So everything came to be needs a cause. You know this. Science doesn't know what that cause was.
None of Einstein's work is even remotely... similar.
Yes, it is. You can search it up now. You can pause the screen. You can go on Google and you can look it up.
Which one of his works? The photoelectric effect?
The law of causality. That was the works. The law of causality. So what that leads us to be is that everything that comes to be, it needs a cause.
This isn't Einstein's work, just so you know.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God, no, it isn't.
So you can look it up.
In the sense of developing or refining it as a specific concept, however, his work on the theory of relativity, particularly special and general relativity, had significant implications for our understanding of causality.
Boom. Boom.
What do you mean, boom?
So there you go. His works on general relativity was responsible for the knowledge of what we know everything comes to be needs a cause.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it does. You just read
You've
it.
got to be kidding me.
The study of his general relativity led to that everything that comes to be needs a cause, which is the law of causality. The
That's
universe
not what the
cannot
general
create
theory
itself.
of relativity is
The
about.
universe cannot create itself out of nothingness, my brother. Science
That's
knows
not
this.
the general theory
And
of
you know this.
relativity.
General relativity, like I said, is what he was famous for. Now, in his calculations, what did he realize?
That's not what you said. You said
Yes, it
his
is.
works were about what you said that his works prove that the universe can't come from nothing.
Yes,
His works have nothing to
it led
do with
that.
that.
It absolutely did. His works
No, it
did
doesn't.
lead. It did. His
Okay,
works
then
led to the
describe
universe cannot
how.
create itself.
Describe how
Out
his
of
works
nothingness.
describe
I
how
just-
his works imply that.
I just explained it to you. His theory of general relativity, okay, that was what he was initially famous for. Now, in his calculations on general relativity, okay, which is about gravitation and whatnot, he realized the universe was not eternal. It obviously had a beginning. Now, that led to the law
That
of
is
causality.
not the general theory of relativity.
Yes, that led to the
No,
law
it
of
isn't. That's
causality.
Big Bang cosmology that you just described.
No. I'm not talking about Big Bang
No,
cosmology.
yes. Okay, two things. One, there's no letter R in the word no. And second thing, that's Big Bang cosmology,
What are you on
not
about?
the
There's no
general
letter
theory
R.
of relativity. Your explanation for why an atmosphere cannot exist next to a vacuum means you cannot have a pressure gradient either.
No, that's not true. That's
Yes, it
absolutely
is
not
true.
You can have a pressure gradient, as we do in a
No, you
swimming
can't.
pool. The deep end of the swimming pool is going to have more pressure at the bottom of it than at the top.
Because
And
of the
atmosphere
weight,
acts
which is
exactly-
caused by gravity, yeah.
No. Weight is caused by the density of the molecular makeup
it's
of
not.
every single atomic structure of
Density
everything.
is a
And gas
consequence.
itself has a density, and therefore you will have a pressure gradient because there's going to be less air
that's
above
so
you
dumb.
the higher you get. It's not. It's exactly how it works.
The density.
Why would you
What?
call that dumb? I thought you said
Iron
you had to be
Horse.
intelligent to come on
Iron
here, but
Horse.
I'm totally talking
Why?
to somebody with no brains.
Iron Horse. Why is the atmosphere more dense at sea level than it is 10,000 feet in the air?
Because there's more air above you at sea level than there is at 10,000 feet in the air, just like in the
That's just
swimming pool.
that's a
with water.
tautology. All you did was restate the claim that it's more dense. Why
Because
is
there's
it more dense?
air. There's more air. It's not more dense. There's just more of it, which creates a pressure gradient.
That's the
its
definition
own
of
weight.
density. More
its
matter
own
per
weight.
unit
Exactly.
of volume.
Exactly. It is all density. You've got it now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good.
No, you have
You're
not
not that
answered.
different.
You have not answered the question, and we're not doing anything until you admit that you don't know or come up with some sort of
I
explanation.
said it's the
Why is
density
the
of
atmosphere
air
more
itself.
dense at sea level than at 10,000 feet up, for example?
The air itself is not more dense. Every
Yes, it
air
is.
molecule has its own density, which is part of its molecular makeup. And when you got more of it,
I'm not
it will
talking about
create a higher
molecules. I'm talking about
pressure.
air. Air is a material composed of matter. So
Composed of a whole
quit
bunch
dancing
of
around
individual
it.
molecules dancing around each other. That's what
This
gas
is so sad. Quit dancing around it. Why
So you
is
don't
the
even
air
know what
more
gas
dense
is.
at the bottom?
It's not more dense.
Yes, it is.
There's a higher pressure of it because there's more of it pressing
That's what.
down on
Yeah, that's what
itself
density is.
from its own density makeup.
Yeah.
That's
Why
right,
does it
is
do
the
that?
density. Because of density.
Density isn't a force. It can't make anything happen.
Of course
But
density
also,
is a
I'm
force.
asking, why is it more dense? And you're telling me because density. That's not an explanation.
It is an explanation. You've
Why
got a whole
are
bunch of
why do
different
blue
gases
things
in the atmosphere.
stop? Here's the equivalent of what you're doing. Why do red things look red? Because they are red. That's what you're doing. So I need an explanation. Why is the atmosphere more dense at the bottom? Why are the air molecules more closely crammed together at sea level than very high up?
Do you understand that every molecule of stuff is made up of stuff?
Please answer the question.
Is what describes its density. How can I not describe what it is without describing what it is? You know, I wouldn't
this
say that
is
the
so
red
dumb.
thing is blue. Would I say a red thing is blue
composition
when I
of
know it's
something,
red?
iron, the composition of a material is not what its density is.
It
so
is.
for the billionth time, why is the atmosphere more dense at sea level than high up?
Dude, I've told you already
You
for the
haven't.
billionth time that it's not more dense. It's
Yes, it
exactly
is.
the same atmosphere. It's exactly the same. You've just
Yep.
got more of
Didn't
it
ask you
above
what it's didn't ask you what it's made of. I asked you why it's more dense.
Because unicorns.
Okay.
Why wouldn't
so
it be because of
you
what it's made
don't
of?
know. You
Why
don't
wouldn't it
know.
be
You
because of what
don't
it's made
have
of?
anything you can pull on to give an explanation, which is
Are
how
you-
we know your model is junk
Are
and
you mentally
useless.
deficient, bro? Are you mentally deficient?
Nope.
You were just told everything is made out of what it's made out of. So that has to be the explanation. Otherwise, what else am I going to use?
Yeah, I don't need to even say anything with regard to that. If it's two-dimensional, then that means as you change your perspective, it changes its shape. So that's not the reality of what we see. So what's
Exactly.
the explanation?
That's what I just explained for you. I just explained that to you. You're seeing your own personal apparition projected to you on the two-dimensional plane of the
How
upper
is
atmosphere
the-
at about 12
how-
to 14 miles high.
How does it look identical to two people in two different places with different perspectives of it when a two-dimensional object can't do that?
Because they're all seeing their own personal projection directed to them in line of sight to the actual moon, which is about 60 to 70 miles high.
I'm asking you, how is that possible? You're just saying they
How
see
is it
their own
possible?
personal projection. How are they
Okay.
able to see it identically, even though that wouldn't possibly work?
Have you ever seen like a sunset where the sunset's reflected across the water and it comes towards you, to your feet? And then a person 200 meters down the beach is going to see their own personal projection of the sun coming reflected to their feet. Everybody sees their own personal apparition of light coming to their eyes that they don't see the same one as coming to your eyes. So it's going to appear the same to them as it appears to you, but it's going to be in a different place.
Yeah,
That's
this
how
didn't
personal
work at all.
perspective works.
Okay.
So you don't understand personal perspective and the way light works. Light can only be seen through your own eyes. You can't see it through somebody else's eyes.
Interesting. Okay,
No, don't tell me
So-
I did another cartoon.
here's what's going on. We have a flat Earth. We have a flat moon. These people are looking at it from two completely different angles in two completely different places, but they both see the moon appears as a circle. Now,
Correct.
how is that
Possible.
How is that possible, considering an actual disc, flat disc? If I was looking at it from directly below, it would look like a circle. But if I was looking at it from anywhere else other than directly below it, it would appear as an ellipse, and it would become more and more eccentric in its
And why would it do
ellipsicity.
that? Does the sun start to look like an ellipse as it's setting?
No, because it's a sphere. So, anyways,
Okay. So there we go. So of course it wouldn't.
how does the moon do this? I need an explanation.
So now put the round moon about 3 times higher than the flat apparition they're seeing.
Yeah, it would
and-
still
and realize-
not be a perfect circle from anywhere other than directly
realize
below
that
it.
everybody is looking at a completely different part of the atmosphere to see their own holographic apparition of the moon.
Yeah. What makes the moon
You can't even stop and think
maintain
about it,
a
can you?
circular shape despite the fact
does.
that if you're anywhere other than directly below it, it will skew toward an ellipse?
Because it's coming from a spherical shape. So it's always going to project a spherical shape to your
Okay.
eyes.
So you have now contradicted yourself. I asked
have
you,
not.
there's no such thing
I
as
have
a
not contradicted myself. You
there's
just
no
haven't
such
listened.
thing as a
You haven't
two-dimensional
understood.
sphere.
You haven't listened to a word I've said.
Yes, I have. You
have
said that it's two-dimensional, and then you said sphere. There are no
I said
two-dimensional
the apparition,
spheres.
the holographic projection that we see is probably two-dimensional because that's what's getting projected to our eyes from the spherical moon. So it's always going to appear a sphere no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, so then it's not two-dimensional, so you contradicted your earlier claim.
But the holographic projection can still be two-dimensional. It's just coming from a
The
three-dimensional
moon can't
object.
be a sphere that is also a two-dimensional hologram.
Yeah, but it's not the moon. The moon we see isn't the moon. It's the projection.
Yeah, great. So,
Holographic plasma projection created in our upper atmosphere by ionizing the particular gases krypton and xenon that create the black and white light that we can see from and read from at night time under a full moon, but we can't see color pictures because it doesn't produce colored light. It just produces a black and white light. That is what the moon actually is. But it comes from the source, which when we're above the atmosphere, we can see it's a tiny little dot. And on occasion, we can sometimes see what we think of as a star through the moon. That is actually the moon itself. That it's the moon we see is not the moon.
What the hell does that even mean?
what evidence that the moon is a star do you have?
Well, it's not a star. It just looks like a star because it's about the same size to our visible eyes.
Okay, interesting. What is it that allows a projection to only be partially illuminated?
Well,
how does that work?
You have to draw the line of sight from each viewer towards the
We don't
moon.
need a line of sight for each viewer. I'm asking you how the projection does that.
Our perspective works through line of sight. At every person, as I said, with the sun reflecting across the water, it only comes to the person who's looking at it. You can't see somebody else's perspective of sun coming across the water. It's exactly the same with the moon. You have to be looking directly at it, and your personal apparition is going to appear in that layer, which is about the 12 to 14 mile high layer.
So, not my question. My question was, how does the projection produce a moon that only has parts of it illuminated and different parts every single night? How does it go through a cycle?
Oh, so another question. It's just its relative position to the sun. Like if we consider the sun to be like a 24-hour, the hand of a 24-hour clock, for example, so it goes around us once every 24 hours, the moon is very similar to that, except it takes 24 hours, 50 minutes a day.
Cool.
And so as a result of that, a different part of the illuminated side of the moon is going to shine through.
Yeah, but if you were in a different spot, you'd see a different quantity of it.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't, because it's
you would.
It's the position of the sun relative to the moon, or the moon relative to the sun that we see. That's what the projection comes from.
So wait, are you saying there is a real moon, but we don't see it? We just see a projection of it?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So you agree that if this is where the sun is, then the light from the sun stops at a distance. We don't have to know what that distance is. We just know that it stops at a distance vastly shorter than the distance it covers going in this direction.
Well,
how is that happening?
That's a huge assumption. You don't know that.
Yes, we do know that.
You don't.
Yes, we do know that.
Because 70% of the Earth's surface is actually water. 30% might be land, and people don't live over all of the land. So for most of the people around the equator, that would be correct. But we don't live on every extremity of that little diagram you just drew.
But Iron, just a second ago, you agreed that at least half the Earth is getting lit up at any given time.
Yeah, during the equinox, that is what happens. So
That's
you need
correct,
to explain to me, why does the sunlight not go as far in some places versus others?
Several things. It's to do with the height of the sun, it's to do with the attenuation of light, and it's to do with the star tetrahedron skylight through which the light itself appears. So once it reaches external to the star tetrahedron side of the intersection point, which is the equator, once it's outside of there, then the light actually gets shaped further and further outwards until basically it's showing 3/4 of the Earth will be in sunlight during the southern summer on the southern
not
December
the question. The question is, during the equinox, why does the sunlight not go as far in this direction versus that direction? That's the question.
Because the sun is not in a position, it's in an apparent position as it shows through our firmament.
Okay, but what is the light stop?
So magic.
No.
The sun isn't in a place, it appears to be in a place.
Correct.
Okay, so why does that make its light travel different distances?
Light doesn't travel, so you can forget about that too.
What does that mean?
Well, light doesn't travel. Light is caused by the electrostimulation energy of the sun itself, and that is what ionizes the gases of the atmosphere which create the light.
Is the sun where I am?
No.
Then how is it that I see the sun?
You are looking up through the firmament and you're seeing a hotspot apparition of it
How am I seeing it?
with your eyes.
And what is it that my eyes do that allow me to see it?
They allow light to enter and let parts of your brain.
Oh, okay. So
interpret
light
signals
does
to be
travel
light.
because the light has to enter my eye. So, anyways,
No, well,
light does
but you can
travel,
look at it
even
like that.
according to you. Light does travel. So
You
why
can
does light
imagine it
travel
like that.
different distances on your flat Earth map?
Okay, consider this scenario: a frozen lake, a fish under the frozen lake, looking up through.
No, not listening to that. What causes a lunar eclipse?
Something comes between the sun and the moon.
What?
Oh, what specifically? To the best
Yeah.
of our knowledge, it's a thing called Lilith in Western cosmology, and in Eastern cosmology, it's called Rahu, and it's basically a dark moon, which is so close to the sun we rarely ever see it, but it comes between the sun and the moon to cause the eclipse.
So that's the stupidest goddamn thing I've ever heard in my life. It's so close to the sun that you can't see it, which
Yeah.
is how, when the sun and moon are as far away from each other as they ever get during a lunar eclipse, it gets in the way it gets between us and the moon. So it's
Yeah.
so close
Have you-
to the sun
have you ever
that it
seen
gets
a moon?
between the sun and the moon when they're at their farthest possible distance.
Could you show me
You're
a
an
picture of a
actual
moon?
idiot.
You believe that we're animals, basically.
Well, yeah, we know that we are.
Well, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
Do you even know what an animal is?
Anything that is not a human.
So, potatoes are animals?
Potatoes are fruits. I mean vegetables.
Yeah, but they're not human.
Okay? So they're not human. What's your point?
So your classification system is obviously false because your classification system cannot distinguish between animals and plants. So, what is an animal?
Anything. Okay, let me rephrase that. An animal is something that is not a sentient person or anything that would, like a alligator or a dog, a cat, a horse. That's what an animal is.
Sure. Where did this definition come from? Sounds like you literally just made it up in order to confirm your argument.
It's simple logic.
Okay, give the logical argument then.
We are not animals due to the fact that animals are, first of all, animals are not sentient.
Yes,
in
they
the
are.
same way. No, they're not.
They are
they're
sentient.
not. Well, I mean, they're not sentient in the same level you are.
A nematode is not sentient in the same level that my cat is. Is a nematode an animal?
Yeah, because it's
Yes,
an
it is.
animal.
So differences in sentience are not what determines what is and what is not an animal. You have a potato fallacy once again. So I'll make this simple. Fundamentally, there's absolutely nothing about humans that is fundamentally different from, for example, a chimpanzee. And we know that they're animals, and we are animals too. So I'll ask you a couple of questions. Do humans have bones?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that means we're vertebrates, right?
We have vertebrae, yeah.
Yeah, we have bones, so we are vertebrates, right?
No, we're not vertebrates.
But that's what a vertebrate is. It's a living organism with bones.
I said we have vertebrae, sir.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Do you know what a mammal is?
A mammal is a being that eats, that basically eats vegetation or meat.
You gotta go farther than that because snakes do that, and snakes aren't mammals.
Okay, I haven't looked at the definition in a minute.
There is just zero supporting evidence for creationism.
Okay, such as?
You want me to give you examples of the evidence that does not exist? Yep, so if what the Bible says is true, then it would be provable. So what evidence do you have that the earth is actually 6,000 years old, like it says, according to you, in the Bible?
Well, that's what God created the earth 6 days. A day is equal to 1,000
So
years.
I didn't ask for a bedtime story. I said, what evidence would you have, could you collect on this planet to get to a precise date of 6,000 years old for our planet?
I gave you my answer.
No, you didn't. You started telling me a bedtime story. And your story was the Bible. So again, we don't need the Bible. If the earth is 6,000 years old, we don't need the Bible to know that. Okay? So what evidence do you have that it is that old? And can we get some ping pong paddles in the chat, please, everybody?
There is no substantial evidence that proves billions of years.
So there's nothing but evidence of that, but the question was, what evidence do you have that Earth is precisely 6,000 years old?
Well, the evidence that I don't really feel like I need evidence, sir.
That makes sense. It doesn't. What I mean is, coming from you, that makes sense.
My argument is, I understand what you're saying. You're saying that the Big Bang happened, right? That's what you're saying. My argument, how are you so confident with something that you do not know why it happened? What was the cause of it? What was the effect? How can you be so confident that it happened if you don't know that?
Because I know that this thing exists, and there are things about it that I can know, despite the fact that I don't know or how it was made or anything like that. There are all kinds of things about this universe we can know, despite not knowing where it came from or if it came from anything.
You can find out where that cap was made from. You can track back. With the Big Bang, you cannot track back.
Yeah,
you can't track back.
You're not getting it. All I'm trying to tell you is, even though right now I don't know where this came from, there are things about it I can know. And just because we don't know where this universe came from, if it came from anywhere, that doesn't mean there aren't things about this universe that we can know. The Big Bang is something about this universe that we know, because the universe is actually still banging.
Okay, we cannot compare the Big Bang to the cap, because obviously the cap
we can.
We can find the research. No, we can't compare it because it's two different things.
We absolutely can.
There are old scripts and manuscripts of the Bible that was written by the disciples, and it leads back to them.
Okay, you do realize that we don't have a single... You realize that not a single piece of one of those manuscripts that we have dates from even 100 years within Jesus's lifetime?
We do have. What are you talking about? We do have.
No, we don't.
We do have.
We don't have a single piece of writing from within 100 years of Jesus'
What do you mean, dude? What do you mean that we don't? We do. We do have old scrolls and manuscripts. The Bible.
And none of them are from the time when Jesus was alive. Not even within 100 years.
It was. It was. What are you talking about? It was.
I'm talking about the fact that we don't have a single... Okay, if I go to the internet and I type in, how old is the earliest known manuscript, are you going to accept the information that it gives us or not?
I will accept it.
Okay.
Because I know that it's... So, my question is, how then are people able to translate the Bible if there's no manuscripts?
Yeah, there are manuscripts, but we don't have any of them from Jesus's lifetime. That's what I'm telling you.
They were. There was.
There
What is
was,
this
but we
guy talking
don't
about?
have them anymore. So you don't
We
have the
do.
evidence.
We do have them. That's why we're able to track back the Bible. How do you think that we track the Bible? We have manuscripts. It's just
Not
that you
from
just
when
don't want to
Jesus was
accept it.
alive.
Yes, we did. We
No,
did.
we don't.
But then how did the Bible even exist if we didn't have manuscripts that came from Jesus'
Lady,
time?
you're not even remotely paying attention.
I
There
am.
were things that were written down close to the time when Jesus was alive, but we don't
Close.
have them anymore. Do you really not understand
We
this?
have them. We have them.
Okay,
That's why
you
we're
have
able to
no
track
idea.
back the Bible.
Yeah, so you say that, and then you say, well, how is it copied if they didn't exist? They did exist. We don't have them anymore.
Happened to them. And then you
Oh
said
my
that we
God.
lost.
I'm muting you
That's
because
what you
you are
just said.
so useless. We don't have the
One thing that you're not going to
original...
do is call me useless. You're not going to call.
We don't have the original writings. Do you accept that or do you not accept that? We have copies of the original writings.
Where are the original copies?
They don't exist anymore. They've been destroyed by the elements of time. It kind of tends to happen.
How can we have copies and not the original? How did we copy them when we did not have the originals?
Oh my God. Because people read them and then wrote them down and then read those ones and then wrote them
You're
down
not
and then read
making
those ones
sense.
and then wrote them
You
down.
are absolutely not making sense. How can we have copies and not have the originals? Are you dumb or what?
Because the copies
This
we have
guy-
are also
guys,
very old,
listen
but not
to-
as old as
listen
the
to the host.
original.
The host says that we have copies, but we don't have originals. How can we have
Yeah,
copies and not the originals?
because they are copies
not make
of the
sense.
originals. Do you?
No, man, bruv.
This is.
No, come on,
What do you
bro.
mean,
I don't know if
no?
you have sense. I don't know if you have sense or you don't have sense. You're saying, guys, listen to the host. The host is saying that we don't have the originals, but we have copies. How can we not have the originals? How can you copy from? How can you make a copy without an original?
You
But anyway,
can
let's
make
move
a
on.
copy, but the copy can survive through time, and the original doesn't have to. Okay, so do you see? Look, you see this writing? If I write down these words on a different piece of paper and then I burn this, I don't have the original anymore, but I have a copy.
Listen, we have the originals. We do have. You just don't want to accept it.
Where are they?
But anyways, we were still.
I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you your question. Who has
Yes.
them? Where are they? Where are they?
The old scrolls, not the old scrolls,
Where
the
are they?
original scrolls are stored in Egypt.
Where?
You can go search it. I don't know where in Egypt, but they're in Egypt. We
Okay,
have
so you
them.
don't have the evidence then.
Daily basis. Miracles happen. And
Prove
the
it.
reason why you say they don't happen is because it sounds silly. You don't like the idea
Yeah, prove it.
of God. What?
Prove it.
Prove
Prove that
what?
they happen every day.
How can I prove it? What miracle do you want in your life?
Okay, ready?
Tell
Why
me
should
a
I
miracle.
believe you then?
Because God exists.
You
and
can't
it
prove
happens.
it. Why should I believe you? Sorry, go ahead.
Listen, okay, what kind of miracle do you want in your life? Tell me so that I can pray to God to make it happen.
Literally anything. You said they happen every single day, so we have a plethora of miracles. Prove that any of them ever happened.
I'm asking you, what miracle do you want in your life?
You
so that
pick.
I
You said they happen every single day.
How can I
You
pick?
pick. You're the one
How can I
trying to
pick?
tell me that this happens. So
do
you
you
pick.
know why miracles happen? In order for me to ask for a miracle, I have to ask God a request to Him. Lord Jesus, I need healing. I need a miracle. I request that to God. So therefore, I cannot say, what is your name? What is your name, by the way? I don't even know what your name is. I don't know what Peters wants. So therefore, in order for me, if you want a miracle, I have to request that to God in order for it to happen. So therefore,
I
I can't read your mind. I can't read your mind. So therefore, tell me what you want.
April, that's not even remotely close to what I said. I asked you to prove that any miracle has happened. And now you're telling me I need to know your name so I can ask Jesus for a miracle to happen for you. That's not even close to what I said. I said, prove any miracle in the past.
I can't. Listen, what has happened in my life, I can prove it to you what miracle happened to me. So, when I was little, I had a disease. You asked to prove, so I'm proving to you, Mos. You want to know if a miracle exists or not, so I'm telling you a story, right? So because I can't prove to you how a miracle happens, because it's a request. A miracle is a request.
No,
it's a request.
There are miracles that have happened past tense. I'm asking you to prove any of them. And now you're trying to tell me that you have to ask God for you. Well, I already went over this. I'm not doing it again.
Dude, a miracle is a request. I can't just say, Lord,
that's not
I want teachers to whatever.
Oh, that's not even remotely the case.
There is no evidence of evolution. Evolution is an idea. It is a theory.
Yeah. And when people come up with ideas, they look for evidence to support it. And we have found evidence of evolution. Would you like to see some? Because I have some.
Can I ask you something? Have you ever seen a human being? Have you ever seen a human being evolving from an ape before? Yes or no?
Nope. But if they did do that, they did it in the past, and there would be evidence of it. Correct?
There you answer the question.
April,
if it did happen, you've never seen it happen.
April, if it happened, there would be evidence of it. Correct?
We're done. Question done. You answered my question, and it is done. Thank you very much.
If evolution happened, there would be evidence of it, right?
If it happened, so it means it didn't happen.
April, if it happened, there would be evidence, right?
There is no evidence because it didn't happen. You just said to me that you've never seen it.
What is this?
That's not evidence of evolution.
Yes, it is.
That's a bunch of skulls of animals, but not
humans are animals.
Humans evolving from the apes.
That's exactly what it is, actually.
No, it didn't. You just answered my question, though. I'm going to ask again. Okay. Humans and animals are two different species. How can you say
that almost made some sense, animals, but not really?
Why are we separated? Okay, let me ask this question. Simple question for you.
Gee, I don't know. Why do humpback whales and white-tailed deer exist? Well, they're different. Therefore, one of them is not an animal. That's you.
Dolphins and whales. Listen, no. This is what you explain. Dolphins and whales are animals. They are two different things, but they're animals.
Wow.
Why are humans not animals? Why are we separate?
Humans are animals. Name one thing. Name one thing that means it's impossible for us to be animals.
Bruv, come on. One thing that we're gonna do is not lie.
Okay. So the only thing you're not gonna do is answer questions and make sense. How are humans not animals?
Animals are not as intellectual as we are as humans. That is why
irrelevant.
But they're not. Are you telling me a rat and a human are the same thing? They have the same intellectual mind?
Does a fertilized egg, is a woman's fertilized egg as intelligent as a rat?
Listen,
no.
We are not,
is it therefore
no.
Yeah. So you're saying stupid things. A fertilized egg is not as intelligent as a rat, so therefore it's not even a human?
Is this a simple question? Why are rats and humans' minds different? Answer the question. I answered yours. Answer
because
mine.
They evolved differently. Every single thing on this planet is different. That's not, and we use differences to distinguish something being like part of this group versus the other group. Oh, the fact that you're laughing is so catastrophically.
Because it's funny. Because
it's really. I wish it was funny. It was funny a little bit ago.
open your ears. They have never existed. We do not have proof of their existence. We do not even have the evidence of them. They have never existed. Those animals never, ever set foot on this human earth. Those things, like I'm saying again, evolution is an idea. It was an idea.
So you're telling
Darwin had.
you're telling me that this thing never existed, even though we have its fossils.
It never did.
So your claim is that this is fake. Is that is your claim?
Very fake. Very fake. You could find, you see that skull? That skull could be a skull of an ape.
It is the skull of an ape. Specifically, well, I don't know which one that is, but yeah, it is an ape. This is a skull of an ape right here, too. It's called a Homo sapiens.
Homo sapiens never existed, bruv. They've never existed. They never existed.
Okay, April.
Those animals,
ready?
Homo sapiens
April, please
have
stop.
never existed.
Please stop. Okay.
I've stopped.
Please stop. I just gotta do one thing. Just one thing, really quick.
They've never did.
No, April,
Homo sapiens
really quick.
never did.
Really quick.
They've never existed, bruv.
Really quick,
They have
April.
never existed. Why are they all of a sudden
April,
extinct?
really quick. Human. Ready? Human. What is the name of human? Homo sapiens. You literally just claimed that humans don't exist.
What are you saying now? Didn't you say that we are animals? Didn't you say? You just said that we're animals.
This is you up here right now.
Bro, didn't you say that we're animals?
Didn't you say that Homo sapiens never existed, but that's
Did
what
you
we
not
are?
say, bro?
April, I'm sorry, I would
hold
love
on.
to stay in chat,
Let's
but
take
you
it back.
literally don't even exist, so I gotta let you go. Then what caused the Big Bang?
That's why I'm asking you. You say that it happened.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right,
So
let's
what
move on
was
to the
it?
next question.
Well,
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you. You said that it happened.
Yeah?
So I'm asking you what caused it to happen.
We don't know. We don't have to know what the cause was or if there was a cause to know that something happened.
Yeah, but you said it happened. There needs to be a cause. There has to be
Yeah,
a
but
cause.
we don't need to know what the cause is to know that something happened.
All right, let's move on to the next question.
April, no, we're not going to move.
so-
We're not going to move on until you address that specific point. Do we need to
I
know
said
what
to you,
caused something
I'm asking you.
to know
Yes, we
if
do.
something happened?
We do.
Why?
We do need a cause. Say for instance, when an accident happens, we need to know what caused the accident, right?
Why?
Right.
Why? Okay, no,
Because we want to know what caused.
no. April,
Yes,
this is
yes,
such a
yes. I'm
this is
asking
such
you
a
question.
horrible
No. Are
category
you going
or
to ask?
error.
Wait, no, it's not.
Yes, it
You
is.
asked me. I'm making an example. Am I making an example or not? I'm making an example.
You're-
When
you're-
a car
you're-
accident has happened, we want
You're
to know
making a
what
category
caused
error.
the accident.
Why?
I'm not making it a category. What caused
if
the
we
Big Bang to
don't
happen?
know-
You said that it happens.
April,
What caused it to happen?
April, if we don't know
I'm
what
asking
caused
you-
the accident,
I'm asking you.
and I'm answering you. If we don't know what
Right.
caused the accident, do we therefore claim the accident did not happen?
The accident happened. What caused it?
Let's say we don't know.
That's why
Does
we
that
need
mean
to
that
find
it
evidence.
did not
That is
happen?
why we need to investigate. That's why we investigate.
And if we don't know, do we therefore claim that the accident did not happen?
No, we don't.
Exactly. So we don't know what caused the Big Bang, but claiming that therefore the Big Bang never happened is fallacious. There you go. You admit it.
All right. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next question. Why
0
did
to
it
1.
happen?
Well, 1 to 0.
Why
1
did it
serving
happen?
0.
Why? So in your analogy, why do you think that it happened?
I have no idea.
Okay, you have no idea. So
Yeah, we don't
my
know,
other
and
question
I
is,
and I don't. I yeah.
do you have evidence of the Big Bang?
Yeah, we live in an expanding universe. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. Do you have evidence of the Big Bang? Do you
Yeah,
have physical
that is
evidence of the Big Bang?
that April. April, I don't think you know what the Big Bang is.
That's what I'm trying to understand. That's why I'm asking here to understand the questions. That's what I'm asking you. I'm
Well,
trying to understand the Big Bang. And
you
the whole
said,
time that you're asking me questions, I'm trying to understand. So tell me
yeah.
why it happened. I'm trying to understand.
I
So
don't
why
know
are you
why it
coming at
happened,
me
but we know
when I'm
that it
trying to
happened.
understand?
If we go outside and we find a dead body and we never figure out how they died, does that mean that they're not dead? Does that mean that a person did not die?
I said that that is not what it means. But basic science says that everything needs a cause. If it does not have a cause, then it didn't happen.
That's not
That's what
true,
science says.
April.
But that's what science
Okay,
says, though.
well, okay. So let me
That's what it
retract
says.
what I just said.
I'm
I
going
agree that
for
things
what
have
science
a
says.
cause. I agree that things have a
Okay.
cause, but we can know that things happened without knowing their cause.
So basically, let's say, for instance, um, do you believe that God exists? You don't believe that
No.
God exists, right? You
No.
don't believe that God exists, right? But that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It doesn't mean that just because you believe that
That's true.
God doesn't exist, it doesn't mean exactly. So that's what I'm trying to get to when I'm saying that the Big Bang is not a fact if there is no evidence, if there is no cause. So
April,
we
I
can't. If
told you
you
the
believe it, if you
evidence.
believe it, but it's not a fact. Though.
I told
It's
you
not a
the
fact.
evidence.
Is the Big Bang a fact or not? Yes or no?
Yes.
But you don't have evidence of it. You don't know the
I
cause.
told you the evidence.
No, it's not. It's not an evidence. It's a theory. You're making a theory. You're making a claim. It's a claim. It's a
Okay.
claim. You can say,
April.
"Oh, it's a claim."
Oh,
It is a
God.
claim. You don't have evidence. You don't have evidence. You don't know what the cause. You don't have the evidence. So therefore, it's not a fact. It's not a fact.
You did this to me.
Drink all you want. I think that you
Okay.
need it.
Oh, I will. Okay, April.
It's
Let's
not a
say,
fact.
April, yes, it is, and I can prove this to you. April,
It's not. It's not.
let's say, let's say that I go outside and I find a dead body.
We went through this. You keep asking me the same
Please,
thing over and
yet,
over and over
and
and
yet,
over.
and
Get to
yet,
the next question.
no, this is
Go
the
to
only
go
question
to the next question.
no, April, this is the only question we're
No,
doing.
ask another question
Because
because
it's going to prove the folly
you
of
know
your
what my answer
logic.
is though. You know what my answer is. The Big Bang is not a fact because we don't have the evidence for it. We don't know what the cause. We don't know
I
why it happened.
told you the
Everyone, everyone. No, but we don't. Everyone,
girl,
everyone is coming with their own.
girl, you're getting muted, okay? And I love you, but I have to mute you because we are going to talk about this, okay? Let's say that I go outside and I find a dead body. Is it a fact that there is a dead person outside?
I said yes. I told you. I said
Okay,
yes. I keep
stop,
saying that.
stop. Good. Now, let's say we never find out how they died. Does that mean that they didn't die?
I said what caused them to die. We want to investigate the death.
We never find out. But does that mean that they didn't die?
I said yes, but we're trying to find the cause of their death.
So it's a fact that they're dead, but we don't know why they're dead.
Yes, we don't know
It's
why.
a
So
fact. So
therefore,
similarly, it's a fact that the Big Bang happened, but we don't know why it happened.
but we can't call it a fact because death and the Big Bang is two different things. They're two different things. There are two different things. Did you see the Big Bang happen? Have you seen the Big Bang happen?
I didn't see the person get
Or
murdered, but we know that they're
did
dead.
did you see the Big Bang happen?
April,
Because
you
the
don't
body
get
is
it.
physical. The body is physical. We can
So is
see
the
that the
universe.
dead body is physical.
So is
The
the
Big
universe.
Bang,
So is the universe.
so is the universe.
So is the
The
universe.
Big Bang, we've never seen the Big Bang happen.
Hey, real quick,
It's not
guys,
physical.
you need to share this live right now because people need to know what's happening. It is episode 2. But yeah, the universe is physical. And for those of you saying next, not a
Is
chance.
I'm saying the Big Bang is not physical. The Big Bang is not physical. The
The
body is physical,
universe
but the
is
Big Bang is not
physical.
physical.
The
But
universe
is the
is
Big Bang
physical.
physical? Yes or no? Is the Big Bang physical? Yes or no?
I would say it is.
Is the Big Bang physical? Yes or no? Don't tell me what you think. I'm asking you about.
I
Is
just
the
said I
Big
would
Bang
say it
physical?
is.
So you would, but it's not. But it's not. The fact is, it's not. It's not physical. The Big Bang is not physical
How do you know that?
because we haven't seen it before. No one has ever seen the Big Bang happen. It's not physical. It's not there to touch. The body is physical. The
The
person is there.
universe
The
is
body is
physical.
physical. We can
The
see
universe
it.
is physical.
The Big Bang. We cannot see the Big Bang. Yes or no? Yes. Or, can we see the Big Bang?
Can't see
Can we
we
see?
can't
Can we
see
see? Can we see? Answer my question. Answer your question. Can we see the Big Bang?
in a weird way, yes, but we can't see
How?
how
How?
the person died,
When
but
the
that
Big Bang
doesn't
is
mean that they
invisible?
were non-physically
No,
killed.
no, 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 no. You
No,
see now
not
you are
no.
changing the thing.
Yes.
The big,
The way this
the
actually
Big
works,
Bang,
April, is yes.
the Big Bang. We cannot see the Big Bang because the Big Bang is what? Is the Big Bang invisible? It's invisible. We can't see the Big Bang. Nobody's seen the Big
Does the
Bang.
Big Bang tell us that we live in an expanding universe? Do we observe in a continuously
Can
expanding
we see the
universe?
Big Bang?
Yes, yes.
You are
There we go.
comparing. Listen. The thing is, you comparing a physical body. The body is physical. We can see
The
that it's
universe
there.
is physical.
It's physical. The
So is the
Big Bang. No, I'm
universe.
talking. We're not talking about the universe now. We're talking about the Big Bang.
The Big
The Big
Bang
Bang.
is the expansion of the
The,
universe.
I'm speaking. The Big Bang is not
Not very
physical. We
well.
cannot see the Big Bang. It's not physical. You've never seen it before. No
You
one has
are
ever seen it. It's
talking
not
about
physical.
the
There is no
cause.
evidence. There is no physical evidence of the Big Bang.
The only April,
Of
200
course, I'm
years
gonna be.
ago,
Of,
200
of
years
course,
ago, we
listen,
didn't
listen,
have.
listen. Wait, listen. I'm
I have a
speaking.
better idea.
Of course, I'm going to ask you these questions
I have a better idea.
because
200 years ago, we didn't
I'm
have
speaking.
a Big
I'm
Bang.
speaking.
No,
No. I'm
I
speaking.
agree. You're not speaking. 200 years ago, we didn't have an idea of a Big Bang. Now we do. Okay. The only reason we ever came up with the idea of the Big Bang is by doing science and collecting evidence. All we have is evidence of the Big Bang. The only thing we have is evidence.
Listen, I'm speaking. You are comparing the Big Bang to a physical body. So obviously, I'm going to ask you these things. All right? I'm going to ask you. Yeah, you can say, yeah, your questions are contradicting yourself. That's why it's hard for
No,
you to
they're
answer these
not.
questions. You contradict.
Oh,
Yes, they are. You saying that the people could be physical, and then you say that it's not physical. So what are you trying to say, bro?
who?
Because
I
I'm trying to
never
understand
said
the Big Bang, but
non-physical.
is the Big Bang? Can you see the Big Bang?
In a weird way, yeah. So April, even
How?
if this is true,
How? How? Peter,
because the
explain to
farther
me
back
how.
you look, into space, the farther back you see in time, and we can see some of the earliest moments in time. Also, we live in a universe that expands. That's consistent with the Big Bang. The Big Bang is still happening. It's still banging. Okay. Now, April, we have to go back to the murder analogy. I never
But it's
saw
not.
how the body got murdered. Does that
It's
mean that they
not.
were
The Big Bang is not
non-physically
banging.
murdered?
The Big Bang is still not happening if it's already happened.
So, April, really quick, you said you came in here to learn about the
Answer
Big
my
Bang,
statement.
but all you're doing is
Answer my
disagreeing
statement.
with me.
You say, listen, I'm trying to understand. You say that
No,
you
you're
say that
not
the Big
trying
Bang
to
is still
understand
happening.
because all you do is
No,
disagree with
Peter,
me.
but I am though. Okay, Peter, answer my question. So you're saying that the Big Bang happened, and you're saying the Big Bang. How can you say that the Big Bang happened if you're saying that it's still banging? It's already happened. Why is it still going on?
Does the Earth go around the sun?
I'm asking you a question. You didn't answer my question.
I'm answering your question by way of analogy. Does the Earth go around the sun?
First answer my question. Because I don't want to answer a question, then we forget. First answer my question, then I'll ask your question. The Big Bang happened. The whole purpose of the Big Bang is the creation of the Earth.
No, it's
For
not.
the Big Bang happened because of the Earth existence. The Big Bang happened.
That was an
then came the
insane
Earth.
statement.
Okay, let me rephrase it. The Big Bang happened because of the existence of the universe, right?
No.
Yes. In order for the Earth to have existed,
Man,
it's
why are
because
we
of the
even
Big
talking? You already know the answer.
No, I'm not. I don't. I'm trying to understand.
Well, then why did you
Big Bang
why did you
happened.
ask me a
The big
question
answer.
and then say
You're not
no?
answering
Here's
my
the answer.
questions though. I'm always answering your questions, but you're not answering my questions. The
No, you
Big Bang
don't.
happened for the
Well, actually,
okay.
yeah, you
Let me
can.
ask.
You actually do answer my questions.
The Big Bang happened for the existence of the universe. Yes or no?
April,
So
earlier
why
we were
did the Big
talking
Bang?
about something completely different. You said, how can you say the Big Bang is still
The
happening
Big Bang.
and that it happened? So can we answer that?
I'm asking. I'm asking. Let's leave the question. Let's answer this one. The whole purpose of the Big Bang is the existence of the universe. Yes or no?
Sort of. The Big Bang is
Sort of.
something that the universe
All right.
does.
So you say. So how is it still banging if it's already happened? How is it still
Because,
banging if it's
okay,
already happened? Because the Earth exists. Why is it still banging?
because for the same reason that Earth orbits the sun was true in the past and it's still true in the present.
Excuse me? What did you say?
The Earth orbits the sun is a true statement. It's also true that 20 years ago, the Earth orbited the sun. So something can be true in the past and in the present.
Because there's evidence. Because there's evidence. There's no
Yeah, we have
evidence.
evidence of a Big Bang.
No, we don't.
I told you what the evidence. You asked me what the
No, but
evidence
it's
was
not.
earlier,
It's
and I
been
told
about
you what it
20.
was.
Listen, I have searched this. I have asked scientists. They have never. So you saying that is a lie. So you lying because I've tried. I've asked scientists. They don't have evidence of the Big Bang. How do you come
Yes,
up
we
with the
do.
evidence? You came up. No, you don't. You don't,
Well,
bro.
I can actually
The
tell
reason
you
why
what
we
the
know. The
I
reason
don't
why.
have to just sit
Listen,
here and say
listen, Peter.
yes and
Listen,
you
Peter.
say no.
Listen,
I can tell you what the
listen,
evidence
Peter.
is.
The reason why we know that the sun orbits is because we have seen the sun orbit. We have evidence of the sun orbiting.
Did
We've
we see
seen
this?
videos of the sun.
Did we see the
So for
Earth
you,
orbit the
the Big
sun
Bang there is
April? April.
no one has ever seen it.
April. Did
I'm
we
still
see
speaking.
the Earth
I'm
orbit?
still speaking. No, wait. I'm
Okay,
still
well, when
speaking.
you're done, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. So it doesn't matter what you
Yeah,
say because
right.
I'm not going to pay attention.
It's fine. We have the evidence of the sun orbiting from the sun. We've seen the sun orbiting. We've never seen the Big Bang happening. There's no evidence of the Big Bang happening. So therefore, I do believe that the sun has orbited because I've seen it before. We've got videos, we've got evidence of it. You can say your statement.
Did the Earth orbit the sun 1,000 years ago?
Yes, it did. Because
Do you
there's
have
evidence.
any pictures or evidence of it?
I've got videos. I can go search it in the internet. And it's going to show me.
Of the Earth orbiting the sun 1,000 years ago?
No, we don't because they did not have the equipment.
So therefore, the Earth did
Right.
not orbit the sun 1,000 years ago?
It did. Have you seen okay, come to my question. Let's come to my question. Did you see the Big Bang happening? Because it didn't happen. If I go search the internet, there is no video of the Big Bang happening.
Are there videos of Earth orbiting the sun 1,000 years ago?
I'm talking about now. I told you no.
Then it didn't happen.
Do we have also so you're saying that the earth is still banging? Is there videos of the earth still banging? No.
Are there videos of Earth orbiting the sun
Are there videos of the
1,000 years
still
ago?
banging?
April, are there videos of the Earth orbiting the sun 1,000 years ago?
The evidence is the videos of the earth still banging.
I already told you no.
Is there videos of the still banging, the earth still banging?
So it's not the Earth, it's the universe.
I'm asking you,
I
answer the
already
question,
told
no.
you
So
no.
therefore, the Big Bang does
I
not
already
exist.
said no.
So it doesn't exist because there's no video.
April,
There
that's
is
such a
no
dumb
video.
thing to
You asked me
say.
about the sun, and I told you.
April, you asked me a question and I answered.
Ask me. It's what you asked me.
You need to let me ask you a question, okay? Okay?
Answer my question.
I did.
Is the videos of the Earth still banging?
I did.
What is it then?
No. We'll just
What
say
is
that
the
the
que-
answer is no.
No, so then it's not banging. It's not banging.
April,
It's
you've
not
said
banging
that
because
you've
there's
said
no
that
video.
4 times.
It's not banging.
Guys,
It's
please,
not,
I'm going to
because there's
have
no
to go on
videos.
blood thinners
There's
after
no
this.
evidence.
Please send gifts. I'm going to die
The comment is the content. The
soon.
content is like Sisipo is someone is the comment is commenting. Yes,
April,
it's true what she's saying. There is
stop
no.
talking. You asked
I'm
the
gonna
same
talk because you're
question.
a liar.
You
There is
asked the same question 4 times in a row, and I've answered it.
nothing.
So
But
now you need to let me ask you a question.
banging. It's not banging. It's not banging.
Okay.
It's not banging. It's not banging.
Okay.
It's not
Okay.
banging. It's not banging.
That's
It's not
a good
banging.
song. April.
It's not banging.
April,
It's not
stop.
banging. It's not
Stop.
banging. I'm not gonna stop because you've proved that I was right. That
No,
the
I
Big Bang
didn't.
is
I
not
can
a
prove
fact.
that you're
It's
wrong
not a
in
fact.
about 10 seconds.
There's no fact though.
Are there
You
videos?
you haven't seen it.
April.
I told you. Yes. There's no videos of your Earth banging.
Are there
There's videos
videos
of yes, there are.
Stop. Are there videos of
There
Earth
are.
orbiting the sun 1,000 years ago?
I said no, but there is evidence of it now.
Then the Earth did not orbit the sun 1,000 years ago.
I
It's
said
not.
to you that
It's not true if we don't have videos of it.
you are very ignorant to what I've said. There is no videos of the big. You are very ignorant. There is no videos of the Earth banging. There is no videos of the Earth banging. There is no videos of the Earth banging. Are the videos of? Can someone please send me a video of the Earth banging? Because you're saying that the Earth banged. There is no videos of the Earth banging. Show me a video of the Earth banging.
Air pressure.
It doesn't matter if you have a vacuum. You idiot. You also can't have a pressure gradient. What happens when you open a can of soda? What's the sound it makes?
That explains mine.
You don't have an explanation for this. Why does the air rush out of a can of soda?
Because you don't have that physical barrier anymore. That pressure in that bottle is going up.
Why does the air come out of the can?
To find its medium on the air?
To equalize the pressure.
Of course, yeah.
The air pressure way up above us is thousands of times lower than it is at sea level. Why is the air not flying up at incredible speed? The difference in pressure in a soda can and sea level isn't that extreme, yet that air comes out of that thing immediately. There should be winds hundreds of miles an hour, literally all the time, flying upward.
That is due to the temperature we have.
No, it's not.
As you go up, we get colder, right? It gets
If it got colder, it would get more dense. It would be
Cold
like your
particles.
skull.
Listen, cold particles have less kinetic energy, less motion in the particles. That shows
Is cold air more dense than hot air?
hot air is more dense than cold air.
No, it's not. Congratulations.
I'm telling you, in terms of kinetic energy, as you go
You're
up,
telling me bullshit.
less-
Hot
you
air
have-
is less dense than cold air.
So can I share my screen so I can show you from a source? But I can't share my screen. I don't know why. How do I share my screen?
You can't share your screen.
But I'm explaining to you that the kinetic energy, the motion in the energy we have as you go up is less.
I'm aware of that. Do you know that it gets hotter as you go up once you get to a certain point?
I know that's the reason, because of that pressure that is pushing the air back to the earth. That container. Without that container, you wouldn't have.
There is no container.
I'm telling you, there is. Without that, you wouldn't have air pressure at all.
You couldn't have pressure gradients with it. Tell me why it's possible for the air to be 1,000 times thinner than it is at sea level, but it can't reach zero.
You talking about altitude, like high altitude?
It doesn't matter. As you start at sea level, the air pressure is, we'll just say 1, and then we go way up to here, it becomes 1,000 times thinner. If we go up higher, it becomes 10,000 times thinner. Why can't the pressure simply disappear altogether if it can get to tens or hundreds of thousands of times less pressure?
I just told you, because of temperature and the air.
Because of
above us-
temperature.
the air above us is pushing down the air.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
It is. This is like, you can research this.
The air at the air at a weaker pressure is pushing on the air at more pressure below it. Do you know how fucking stupid that sounds?
The air above, if you
Has
have
less
the
pressure.
above,
The air above has less pressure
it's still pushing.
and is able to push on the air with more pressure because of what?
Because of what? What do you mean? The air pressure has density, right? It still has density, even though it's not.
Yeah, less density.
Even though it's not more denser than the air at sea level, it still have density. So that density above.
Do you understand that when you have two forces and one is larger than the other, it always wins? Do you understand that? Do you know what happens when a car and a train get into a head-on collision? Because you're telling us that the car wins.
I'm telling you, it's never one explanation. You can have multiple explanations for it.
Yes, and your current explanation is literally, it's not just that it's wrong,
Right, so
it's
this
the
is how-
opposite of what's true. So the air above us has less pressure. That means it doesn't have the pressure necessary to push the air at higher pressure below it down. That's not
listen.
possible.
Just
This
simple search,
explanation of yours goes absolutely nowhere,
I'm gonna prove it.
completely
I'm gonna prove it.
defeats your
Give me a
own
second.
position. You need
Just
to
search.
abandon this.
No,
The same way you've abandoned critical reasoning, you need to abandon this particular argument.
No, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying just search a very quick.
Then give
search.
up on it. You
Can
just
you
told me you
have-
understand
just
it.
search, can
Nope,
you have-
you're going to stop. You just told me that you understand. So are you going to abandon this and admit that your explanation is wrong?
I think my explanation is more logical. I mean, if maybe you don't understand it, but I'm giving you example. If you
you're
have,
not.
just search simple question. Can you have the pressure gradient in a container? You can still have pressure gradient in
No, you
the
can't.
Earth. You
On
can't.
Earth, you can, because Earth is huge and the force of gravity holds the
saying
atmosphere
any
down.
container-
Yes, that is true.
Any container, I'm talking about any container. If you have if you have one container and below it is hot air and above it is cold air, you would have air gradient that goes, as you go up, it gets less thinner and less thinner. Any container, simple container. I'm talking about. So you can search this. You can do
No,
this.
you can't.
Just search it.
If
and
you
see
had
how
a
it-
container and you heated the bottom, you could say that there's a difference, but do you know what but that would only be like in a snapshot type of view. Do you know what happens over time? The pressure equalizes. So again, the air at sea level not only needs to it wouldn't be leaking upwards, it needs to be flying upward. It would do it instantaneously at hundreds of miles per hour. When you open a can, the air doesn't leak out, it rushes out at incredible speed. But those pressures aren't as extreme as the pressure we're talking about.
I'm
So
telling you,
we're done with
there
this.
are
It's
many-
beyond stupid. What do you want to talk about next?
Beyond stupid, you don't know about. I think you don't.
Yes, I
understand
do
it.
know about it. I
You don't
explained
understand
everything
it.
about it to you, and
So
you
I just
admitted
showed
that
you
it
you
doesn't
can
work.
search- You can search online. Can you have gradient, pressure gradient, any container, any container? It will say yes. It will say yes, because the difference in temperature in the air above that container, on the top of that container, is pushing the density of that air above that on the top of the container is pushing down. It's always
Once again,
pushing
not
down
even
because it's
close
above
to
it.
being a sentence.
So it's because it's above the air below it. It's always going to push it because it has density. I don't think you don't.
The air above is not more dense or at more pressure than the air below.
I know,
So
but it's still
again,
pushing down.
I'm not going to correct you for a fifth time on this.
Correct
What
me
do you
on
want
what?
to talk about next?
Listen. Correct me on what? I have verified this information 100% through science. I don't even deny science. This is through science, through observation. You can
What do you
have.
want to talk about next?
All right, let me ask you something. How do you think? Do you think that we orbit and spin the Earth at the same time? We do orbit and same, right?
Yeah, obviously.
And when you, if someone in the north is spinning and orbiting the sun, and would you agree that it's every hour it's looking at a different direction? It is at a different direction, right?
Yeah.
If that's the case in the north, how do you see Polaris? If the Earth
Because
is
it's above you.
yeah,
God, you're
if
so
the Earth-
fucking stupid.
if the Earth is tilted down and spinning, and it's the other side of the sun, how do you see Polaris at the same place?
Are you indoors or outdoors?
Me indoors. I mean outdoors.
What's
I know.
you're outdoors right
Are you
now?
talking about what are you talking about?
What is above you? Tell me something above you that you can see.
But I'm telling you, if you're in a different
Tell
direction.
me something that is above you that you can see.
You're trying to
Tell me something that is above you that you can see.
trying to gaslight people, but let me explain to you. You can never see
Gaslighting a stupid person is just when you have a conversation with them. It's unavoidable.
Okay.
Tell me something that is above you.
I'm explaining to you. You can never see a Polaris if you're spinning.
You have so few dialogue options. Tell me something that is above you.
The sky. Why are you asking me this question?
Be more specific.
The sky, I'm outside.
Okay, we're just going to have to use our imagination. I hope you can do that. Imagine you're in your living room. Are you with me so far?
Is this how you do it? You just overtalk people.
Imagine you're in a living room. Are you with me so far?
You overtalk people and just claim you're winning?
Imagine you're in a living room. Are you with me so far?
Go ahead, explain it.
Imagine you're in a living room. Are you with me so far?
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Are you with me so far?
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm with you.
Let's say that you draw an X on the ceiling directly above you. Are you with me so far?
I'm listening.
Are you with me so far?
I'm listening, yeah.
Okay, now what you do is you turn around and face the other direction. If you look up, are you going to see the X on the ceiling?
At the same position?
Yeah.
If I'm on the Earth and I'm spinning, let's say if
okay, I finally understand what you're trying to say now. You're telling me that Polaris should be going like this instead of staying in a pinpoint location, right?
Should be at a different,
right? That's what you're saying, right?
I'm saying that Polaris should be at a different, even very small difference in the position that it is.
Do you realize that Polaris is many light years away from us?
Yeah, I know.
Right. So even if you take the distance from the Earth to the Moon, the angle that would be created from Polaris to the Earth to the Moon, the angle would be too small to notice. Do you get that?
But you're facing a different direction, I'm telling you. If you're in the north.
Okay, so now you're back to the other thing. This is what I thought you were talking about earlier. You, for some reason, think that if you turn around, you can't see things that are above you. That's not true. Then what you did was you tried to change it to, well, if we're spinning, then it should wobble. Then I explained to you it's too many light years away for you to see the angle. Now you're back to the first thing you said.
Let me explain it to you again. Do you see?
You don't need to explain it to me. I know exactly what you meant.
Do you see my car in a circle above it? The circle. Let's say you're above it in the north. Let's say you're in the north You're tilted like, and it's tilted, and it's spinning, and it's orbiting the sun. You shouldn't be able to see the moon, the North Star, every day at the same position every single night. You shouldn't be able to see that. It's impossible because
No, it's literally not impossible.
you're facing in a different direction than you were. When you face it at a different direction than you were, that North Star.
It's above you. Do you know that? Do you know that what's above you is above you, whether or not you're looking left or right? Do you know that?
I'm telling you, is the Earth?
The question is, do you know that things that are above you are still above you, whether you look left or right?
What? I'm just telling you, we are.
You don't know that. Okay, the things that are above you are above you, whether or not you look left or right. They are still above you. Now you know it. Congratulations.
Look, you are misunderstanding everything.
No, I'm not misunderstanding anything at all. You said that the stars need to be shifting position because the Earth is moving. The logic of that is okay, except that you don't understand how far away the stars are. I just gave you the number. The angle is 0.0000000171188 degrees. Humans can't see angles that are that small. Not even a hawk can see an angle that is that small.
Wait, listen, is it compared to a human being, as small as a human being?
It's not compared to anything. It's a fucking angle. The Earth goes from here to here. That creates the base of the triangle. The star is up there. The angle it creates is 0.0000000171188 degrees. We can't see angles that are that small.
Listen, is the Earth looking at it or me?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter?
No.
Am I as big as the Earth?
If you were paying attention, then you would have heard.
I understand, but how big are my
No,
eyes?
you don't understand. Because I said
to the Earth, not to me.
You don't understand because I said the base is the distance Earth moves in 1 minute. So you can say it's you or the Earth. It doesn't matter.
If I'm looking at it, if I'm as big as the Earth, let's say I'm as big as the Earth, and I'm looking at an angle, and someone as small as a human being looking at the same angle, but they see this different angle. I think this is like.
Once again, I wouldn't even charitably call that a sentence. What you just said there.
You're comparing the Earth's size to a human. You have to make it relative.
It doesn't matter because what I'm doing is I'm taking the distance Earth moves in 1 minute, which is based on the speed that the Earth is going through the, is it Milky Way? Yeah, through the Milky Way galaxy. So it doesn't matter because the speeds are so incredible that it doesn't matter if we're talking about something the size of Earth or the size of a human. If you don't get it, then you don't get it. Well, why did I say if? You don't get it.
I guess we're going to pass it.
No, there is no pass. You are wrong. The angle it creates is 0.0000000171188 degrees. Humans can't see angles that are that small.
I'm saying,
in fact, if we allow the Earth to travel for an entire year, then it still only makes an angle of 0.009 degrees. Still too small to see. But that's also not how it works, because all the stars in the Milky Way are rotating together, so that North Star is traveling with us as we orbit through our galaxy.
No, I'm saying is that you don't understand relativity. You have to
Yes, I do.
If you're thinking a human size, an eye size as big as the Earth, looking at an angle that small, maybe you wouldn't see it. But if it's a human being with the small eyes it uses, it definitely would see that angle. So let's move on.
No, you can't see angles that are that small. I don't know how you don't get it, but you don't get it. Humans can't see angles that are that small. There's no such thing as relative to X, Y, or Z. You can't see angles that small.
I understand, but if humans' eye are as big as the Earth, maybe
there's no such thing as how big or how small your eye is. You can't see angles that are that small.
All right. I think the
Great.
basic, fundamental essence. Who calculated this? You just copying and pasting this? Did you calculate it yourself?
Yes, I did the calculations myself. They're not hard to do. Fucking triangle.
Well,
You look
I
up
understand,
you
but
look up the base and the height, and then you
I
just figure out
understand.
the
But
angle.
when you use the size of the Earth, did you use relative to a human
I
size?
don't use the size of the Earth because that's not how you do it. And again, there's no such thing as relative to anything. An angle that's too small to see is too small to see.
All right. So let's change topic. I guess you can. All right. Let's change topic. Do you know Coulomb's law? The formula of
Yes.
the Coulomb's law?
Yeah. What's the charge of the Earth?
No, the Coulomb's law. Do you know what it is? The formula?
Yes, I know. And the structure of the formula is a lot like, it's almost the same as gravity, but the Earth doesn't have a charge.
All right. So let's go back. It's very similar.
No, he asked the most basic and fundamental question, which is, what's the charge of the Earth? That's how, now I have to change the subject.
So no, listen. You don't understand the basic formula to
I'm
get
silently
gravity.
screaming. The Earth doesn't have a charge, so the idea that just because these formulas are structured kind of the same
what did you
way,
say?
they only
The Earth
work
doesn't have a
with
charge?
potential differences. Yes, the Earth does not have a charge.
Does the surface of the Earth have a charge?
No,
No.
no,
No. Oh my God! You don't know anything.
no.
Listen. You don't know anything. I'm
I,
just giving
I
you
know
the.
more than nothing, which means I know more than you.
I'm giving you. You
So,
just
do you
claimed.
acknowledge that the
No,
Earth is a
listen,
sphere
listen.
because in order for your equation to work, you have to have a radius?
I'm giving you the. So you don't know the charges of the Earth.
What's the radius of
You don't
the
know
Earth?
the formula of gravity.
There
You
is
don't
no
know the
charge for the
formula of-
Earth. What you don't realize
It's
is that you're
neutral. The Earth-
conceding that the
listen,
Earth is a
The
globe.
Earth is neutral.
What's the
surface of
radius of the Earth?
the surface of the Earth?
Hey,
is
Giant,
neutral.
what's the radius of the
That has
Earth,
nothing to
which
do
is a
with-
requirement for your formula? What's the radius of Earth?
It's 3,000 something.
So you acknowledge that Earth is a sphere.
What do you mean? I'm
You
giving
need a
you-
radius.
I'm using the information they gave us.
What does R squared mean, Giant?
To disprove that's the
Giant, what does R squared mean?
R squared is the volume. It is. I've used it to it's
R squared is the volume.
No, it's not the volume. It's the.
You're arguing for square circles at this point.
So no, are you just gonna say, oh, because you know the radius of the Earth, it's it's a sphere. That's not
Yep.
what I'm saying. That's not what I'm
Yes,
saying.
it is what you're saying. Well, then you need to abandon this because it can't explain anything.
You don't
Because
know
you
that-
don't have
no,
a flat Earth doesn't
even
have
without
R
knowing
squared,
it.
so you have nothing to work with. So
not-
this explanation doesn't actually explain anything in your worldview.
Bro doesn't know what radius is.
Yes, I
It's
do.
not radius. It's not radius. So I'm.
Yes,
no,
it is. R squared is radius squared.
Oh my God, you don't understand.
Oh my God, you don't understand. No, R squared is radius squared.
Look. You
Giant,
have
what's
no-
R squared?
I'm giving you. It's not just.
Giant, what is
radius
R squared?
It's not radius squared. It's not.
Yes, it is.
To find gravity, you need radius. The radius of the Earth. Is that what you asked me?
To use this electrostatic
what-
formula, you have to have a radius.
So I'm telling you.
Distance between
gravity.
two charged objects.
wait,
You have to have a
you know-
radius.
You know gravitational formula. The formula I told you. It's there. There is R square. Are you telling me you need the radius of the
Yeah.
Earth
To
find
do
gravity?
electrostatics, you need
find
R
gravity?
squared. It's
find
this.
gravity?
It's the same formula, just different
He's
constants.
deflecting. He's deflecting. You don't. So
No, I'm not.
let's
You
go
need
back-
R
let's go
squared
back-
for both of them.
So let's go back to the. It's not radius. The radius.
Yes,
of
it
the
is.
Earth. That's
It's
not-
R
that's
squared.
not-
Radius.
All right.
Yes, it is. Do you know that things weigh less the higher up you go?
No, so you claim
Giant,
it's radius.
I have a question for you. Do you
don't know
do you
it.
know
You just
that things
repeat
weigh
it,
less
right?
the higher up you go?
So are you claiming it's?
Giant, do you know that things weigh less the higher up you go?
You're changing topic now.
Giant, do you know that things weigh less the higher up you go?
Yes.
Okay, that's because the distance r squared is growing. So, yes, to do gravity, you do have to have a radius. That is how it works.
No,
So,
if
once
it's
again,
r
you're
squared,
wrong.
Is r squared the radius?
Yes. And why do things weigh less on the tops of very tall buildings? Because r squared grows.
Dark matter and dark energy explains 95% of what they claim is gravity. And they
No.
don't know. Go ahead and research this.
I
So
have
you don't-
researched it. Dark
you
energy
don't-
has nothing to do with gravity.
Really? That's
Willie.
a strong claim.
Yeah.
Is that a strong claim? Are you
I'm
gonna stick with
really
that?
starting to think dark energy doesn't
Are
have
you-
much to do with gravity.
Let me show you. So
Oh,
you're
really?
not open-minded then. You're not open-minded then.
Yes,
you're just
I am.
Like, you're just like a clown that just comes in here and just argues against
I'm
someone.
funny like a clown,
It's not-
but
it's not
I'm
funny.
smart like
No, it's
not a
funny.
clown.
When someone is talking facts and you just denying it, acting like a clown. That's just it.
I literally proved to you that you don't even believe what you say you believe on
do you mean?
multiple different occasions.
No, you crafted, you manufactured an explanation.
No, I'm being serious right now.
And you believe,
I
listen.
proved to you that you can't see an angle as small as the angle for when the sun or when the Earth flies through space. There, I got it out at the end. And then you said relative to what?
No. So quit being clown. Let's just talk facts. Would you agree with that?
Okay, you're an
Let's
idiot.
talk facts. Let's talk facts. When you have something and 95% of it is invisible and you don't know what it is and you don't know how it works or you don't know how it looks, would you claim it is there? Because that's what they use to explain the theory of gravity, and the only 5% they know for a fact it exists is because
Giant.
we observe 9.8 meters per
Giant.
second square.
Do atoms exist?
Do atoms? I've never researched. I don't have any criticism against it.
So you have no problem with?
I know people have like with electrons and stuff, but I don't want to talk about it. I've never done any research upon it. But let's go back to gravity. What is gravity now? Now that
So
I have
what I was going, I'm gonna interrupt you. So what I was going to say is, we've known about the existence of atoms. We've had extremely good scientific experimental evidence verifying our theories, our hypotheses about the nature and composition of atoms and matter since the early 1800s. We've had it for that long. But that whole time, we didn't know that protons, neutrons, and electrons exist. So does that mean that we didn't know what we were talking about in the 1800s? There was some stuff that they were wrong about, but they were largely right about everything. So not knowing what dark energy is has fuck all to do with if we have an accurate model about gravity, its effects, and how it works here on Earth.
Wait, so you don't have anything except the 9.8 meter per second square?
We have countless experiments to verify our model. Like, I can't use like going to other planets because you believe we never went there or whatever. But so I guess I'm not 100% sure what to use for you. But again, your weight changes if you go to the very top of a tall building because r squared changes. That's consistent with our theory of gravity. GPS satellites, the clocks in them have to tick at a different rate because they're farther away from Earth's gravity well than things here at the surface. So the clocks are programmed differently.
Let me explain to you. There is an acceleration of force. There's an acceleration of force that goes down at a rate of 9.8 meter per second square, right? And that fluctuates. Sometimes it changes. Sometimes you weight something because of that force.
Yeah, because mass is not evenly distributed throughout the planet.
That is the law of gravity. That is the law. I'm not denying that. No one's denying that. That is provable. We've proven it. We use it to build stuff up. We use it, right? But you claiming that G in itself, that G, you're tying it to galaxy and black holes and which is 95% of it is dark matter. Dark. It has no observation. You can't observe it. You've never observed a planet getting pulled by another planet with
That
gravity.
is not a problem for anything we know about the effects of gravity here on Earth in all the different kinds of ways it's been experimentally verified.
If I can prove that 9.8 meter per second squared is caused by another force that we
You
know
can't.
that we know it exists, and that
You
we can
can't
manipulate-
derive 9.8
This
meters
is-
per second squared from
that-
electrostatics. You
I'm
can't
telling
do
you,
it.
in that we can manipulate, we can use it to manipulate stuff up, we can lift stuff up, we can move it around. If I can prove you
What's
right
the
now-
charge of the Earth?
So look, if I can prove
Okay,
you right
first of
now-
all, you have to concede
No, no, no.
that Earth has a radius, which means you have to concede that it's a globe. So are you ready to do that?
no, let's not talk about that. I'm just telling you that.
No,
the
because
only
you
thing about
no
gravity-
no we are talking about that because your
we can talk about
alternative
it, but we
explanation
need to
is
talk- we can talk
electrostatics.
about
You need r squared for your
I haven't even
electrostatics.
said it.
So are you
I
going to
haven't-
concede
I
that
will-
the Earth is a globe?
Before I explain that, let me explain the reason. The only thing that you have right now is the 9.8 meter per second square. And if I can prove that another force is causing that force, that rate of acceleration, you now has to change the entire, the 95% of gravity you don't know, you've never seen, you've never observed. That is, there's a reason you don't know what it is, you don't know. But if I can prove you that it's electromagnetism, electrostatics, now everything changed. Now you can't call it gravity. And the Earth,
Good luck.
and the Earth is not. It's not. It doesn't. It has charge. It's neutral. It's basically polarized. It's balanced. It does have charges, but it's balanced. It's neutral. And the surface of the Earth.
Congratulations. That would mean that it has no ability to attract
No.
anything.
The Earth, the physical Earth, and the surface of the Earth is different. The surface of the Earth is negative. Provable. We use it to measure stuff. We've used it. This is provable stuff. You can go ahead and research it, right? The surface of the Earth is negative, and the sky is positive. We all know this. And there is a flow of electricity, electric current, they call it, circuit, the electric circuit that flows from positive to negative at a rate, some kind of rate, I don't know the rate, and that causes positive and positive rejects each other, and negative and positive attracts. And that is provably what's what's causing us to stay on the Earth. That's the force.
No, it's not provable.
It is provable.
Am I on the Earth?
So, okay. So let me.
So
test
the
you.
question was, am I on the Earth?
If I'm going to.
So I have a
explain-
question for you. Am I on the Earth?
Yes, you are.
Okay, am I positively charged?
You're neutral. You don't have any charge on the Earth.
I don't have any charge, so that's why I'm
That's
down.
why there is no other force. And you
great.
have
So the Earth is the ground is positively charged.
the ground is neutral.
The ground is neutral. So if I have two things, so electrostatics, you have charge 1 and charge 2. The only way that they can produce a force on each other is if they have differences in electric potential.
Right,
Do you understand that?
I think you understand. You have the.
Yes, I know that I understand this because
No,
I
no,
have
you
I have
have-
done this for a living. Okay?
but let me. If
No,
you're
you're not going to do anything except answer some questions. Two objects that are neutral do not have a difference in electric potential. That means that they cannot induce movement in each other. Do you understand?
And a neutral object always stands still.
Two neutral objects that do not have any difference
Who
in
says-
charge
wait,
have
wait.
zero
Who says-
potential. Shut up. They have zero potential difference. Therefore, they cannot induce movement in each other.
No, you don't understand. Who says the Earth is attracting us? Who says that?
You.
one said- I said the Earth is neutral, and you're neutral.
Which
On the
means
surface-
if I jump off of a building, there is nothing to account for why I fall down in your
I will
model.
explain that. The surface of the Earth is negative, as we know. The ground is neutral. As you go up, there is positive. When you are at a at a high altitude, you are at a positive
Then
level.
why does a helium balloon float?
Because what do you mean?
Why does a helium balloon float?
Because it is less denser and it finds its
No,
equilibrium.
your explanation is that the air is positive. When it's in the air, it needs to be pushed down. Why does it not push down?
I'm explaining to you, it's less denser for it to go.
That doesn't matter because there's a positive force in the air pushing it down.
Wait. So you think you think density has nothing to do on how fast we go or how fast?
I think you are making shit up as you go along. You have zero explanation. You've had to forfeit everything. You have to use a model that assumes a radius and then say that there's no such thing as the radius. You have to say that objects that are neutral move because of different charges around them that are pushing on them that don't push on other things.
Yeah. So you telling me you can only have radius on a sphere?
Yes.
You can't have it on a circle?
So you understand that the way the difference in potential energy. Yeah, this isn't the gotcha that you think it is because you're a fucking idiot.
You're claiming the Earth has no radius. It still has radius if the Earth is a circle.
Yes, except the problem with your explanation is that the force of attraction in a sphere, that force of attraction is toward the middle, so you're always equidistant. Now, Earth isn't perfectly spherical, but whatever. That is where that radius is drawn from. In your model, a flat Earth has a radius? Sure, it's at the North Pole. That means that people at the equator experience less of an attractive force than people in the Arctic Circle, for example. Except here's where your model completely falls apart again. Do things get pushed toward the North Pole?
No. Who says...
Giant, do things get pushed toward the North Pole?
Who said that?
Giant, do things get pushed toward the North Pole?
No one said
Giant,
it.
do things get pushed toward the North Pole?
No.
No. So then what is the point of you saying, well, if Earth is flat, it still has a radius, when the radius is part of the equation that tells you how strong that force of attraction is? So what was the point of that?
The radius helps you. It's a way to calculate for you don't know the Coulomb. You know the Coulomb's law? You don't know the Coulomb's formula, right?
See, if I'm at the North Pole or I'm at the equator, if Earth is a globe, then we're still being pulled toward the center of the Earth. If Earth is flat, then that radius is there in the middle, and now everything is completely fucked up, and there's no equidistant points unless you're on the same line of latitude. This explains nothing at all.
I'm saying the Coulomb's law uses radius.
You need a radius. Yeah, so what's your radius here?
That Coulomb's law is a way to... What do you mean? Why?
What is your radius?
It does...
What is your radius?
It's not the same radius you're thinking of.
Then what is it?
I will explain to you right now. That's why I said at first it's not.
You have 15 seconds. What is your radius?
I'm gonna have to show you some.
You have 5 seconds.
You
ran out of time. You don't know what the radius is. You're gonna pull up some fucking
I can't explain
bathroom stall style drawing to be like, yeah, this guy who's a crackhead, he figured this all out.
I'm showing you right now. Give me 1 second.
Tell me. If you know it, then you can just tell me.
It's not the same radius you're thinking of. It's the so now what it is. I want to give you the right. It's the distance, the straight line distance between the object at the end and the object in the to the middle. It's not the distance.
Great. You know what has a middle? A sphere has a middle.
A circle even also has a middle. A circle, a center.
Fucking Christ, you're so goddamn fucking stupid. It's almost unbelievable, right? So the electrostatics, those two objects are pulling toward that radius, right? So are things moving toward the North Pole?
Who said?
Are things moving toward the North Pole?
I said no. Who said?
So then why are you bringing up that a flat Earth has a radius?
It could be the attraction to the Earth's surface. You still need the radius.
If we're being attracted toward the Earth,
Look, so
buddy, oh no, I'm not, nope, I can't. I literally can't.